Yeah, alright everyone, welcome back, good morning, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so just see some, not all, of Not That Famous, the podcast, the now infamous podcast featuring Video Craig, Hedgehog Boy. Someone linked it to me in my comments section. I've watched, I kind of, just browsed through it, and I've got to say, Craig, come on mate, who you kidding? Who are you kidding? Fidgeting, couldn't sit still, look very uncomfortable, look very wired, eyes slightly pinned, look very uncomfortable. You was on something. You was definitely, and God knows how you managed to tie, little Johnny in a knot for an hour or whatever. The woman looked relaxed. The guy that was hosting the podcast looked relaxed, but you was fidgety, you was uncomfortable, you looked like the bathroom was calling, do you know what I mean? Or the bar was calling, one of the two, you know what I mean? But not impressed, not convinced that you, my friend, are 18 months sober with your little badge and whatnot, but it is what it is. Christopher John Edward Leonard James Murphy, I've got to say, perhaps the biggest flip-flopper we have on YouTube. He's having a pop at me, yeah, about silly, just because I corrected him. He hasn't been on YouTube for 5-6 years as he keeps preaching. Ladies and gentlemen, I think most sane people will agree that he's been around for a year and a little bit, yeah? JDP's been around for 2 years, around 2 years, or coming up to 2 years. Yeah, he was first. He was then trying to send some, kind of fans, viewers towards Murphy's channel, yeah? And Murphy deleted about 3, I'd say 3. He's exaggerating when he says 6 channels. That's another exaggeration, just like the 6 years. He's had about 3 channels. He's on his 4th. He had a manic episode, a mental health breakdown, and he deleted the other 3 when, as you can see, he's very erratic. Very erratic. I mean, he claims he was the king of the roast, but he didn't roast nobody. Didn't roast Andrew Goyne. Didn't roast the smoking sausage. They just ignored him. They just fucking ignored him. Yes, I've corrected him anyway. He wasn't around 5 or 6 years. Trying to say he was around, when Decca was doing his podcast. Decca started his All or Nothing in 2020, yeah? Even though the channel's older than that, yeah? The videos, and then, it was like he was trying to get Darren G on, and then, it all started with the problems he had around his local area with Danny Christie, and the rest, as we say, is history. After that now infamous fight, which is, how long ago was that fight? About 3 years? If you ask Murphy, he'll probably tell you it's 10 years. He's a flip-flopper as well when it comes to people that show him a little bit of support, a little bit of love. He gushes over them, ladies and gentlemen. He gushes over them. He's so needy. He's another one that's needy for friendship, for pretend friends, or for someone to, give me a shout out, or say something, or do a video about me. Give me a shout out. Send people to my channel. When I tried about a week ago to give him some friendly advice of how to grow your channel instead of, I told him stop tagging people. Nobody really sees the tag except for the content creator. I said, just put their name, clickbait their name in the title of the video. He didn't want to, no, I don't need to listen. I'm not interested in views, blah, blah, blah. I'll do it to tag them because I only want the person that watches, that I'm making a video about to see it. The person I'm tagging, Rather, arrogant, shall we say, was his response. Then he gets a little message, a comment from the Dossers. He's like, can you give me a little shout out? I was wrong about you. Just like how he gushed about the Reacher. Just like how he gushed about Big Tony. Just like how he gushed about Weston. And just like he gushed about anyone else that gave that man-child, that attention-seeking doofus, any attention. He's like, please. Look, can we do a collab? Look. Chris, you're absolute cringe, mate. You're absolute fucking cringe. Your videos are all over the place. Yeah, you're funny. But all this bedlam and waffle talk, just get to the fucking point. Do you know what I'm saying? You're just too needy. You're like all the rest of them. Or you crave fake YouTube friends. And we know everyone's a fake friend on this corner. Because look at what happens when they fall out. They fall out every other week. Northern King was live. I see a few minutes here, there, last night. Northern King's good stuff. He's entertaining. But the guests are absolute pants. Unless Romeo's on there, of course. Big Romeo, actually, can always make a live. If he can even make Exposing Fighters live entertaining, then that guy can work miracles. Because Exposing Fighters is a proper, how can we put it, yes man. You know, he's a simp. He tries too hard to be a nice guy. Please like me. Please be my friend. Or, you know, even all his enemies, you know what I mean? Soon as, what's her name came on, who was it? The Queen, the Ice Queen, yeah. He was like, oh, I didn't notice you. Oh, we friends now, Tell David I love him, you know. Oh, no, well, you know. The guy's a cop-out. Do you know what I mean? He's another one. He's always simping. He's always simping. His lives are pretty dull because he's always arguing with the only decent person that goes on there, Romeo, and, you know, bigging up all the little smurfs like Bob Fart and fucking other degenerates like that, Jim Smith and fucking, I don't know, you know, the riffraff. You know, anyway, yeah. Where was I? So, yeah, unfortunately the guests, and why is everyone a mod? Every time I tune into these lives lately, everyone is a mod. Now, I understand you have a few close friends, or confidants, you know, as mods, yeah? But having the entire fucking chat as a mod, so that says either you don't trust everyone, or you don't trust your main mods. If you're worried like, oh, they might block them one because they've got if everyone's got a personal beef with everyone, and that includes the viewers, there's no point doing the fucking thing, is there? You only need 1 to 2 mods. 2 mods. Because if one mod's got a night off, you know, they might actually be doing something with their life, like washing their hair or something, I don't know, but, yeah, nothing's happened on this corner of YouTube. It's been starved for content. Decker Heggie, I believe he hasn't come back, probably due to his illegal affairs, do you know what I mean? I believe that he is not allowed back on June the 26th, which he ultimately missed. He didn't turn up, did he? So we won't see no raffles, we won't see no exposes, we won't hear the waffle about the fight camps and the resuming the acting career and all the rest of it that comes with it. I think it's time anyway. Danny Christie hung up the gum shield and the wraps and called it a day. Guy looks like a fucking elephant, man. Jesus Christ, does he cut easily. Decker, Danny rematch is the only thing worth talking about on here. People say, yeah, Brett and Danny. No, nobody gives a fuck about Brett anymore. Brett ain't fit to lace fucking Danny's boots. Do you know what I mean? Brett ain't even good enough for a journeyman. You know what I mean? He's a big fat pudding who just talks and talks and talks. Now, he's been out of prison 6 months, 8 months, I don't know, a long time, claiming he's getting fit. But as you say, there was no fitness. There was no fucking he's a fraud. It's all for clicks and views. It's all for the YouTube shekels, back and forth. Paul Venice, Shadow Bacon, and Danny, and he ain't gonna fight fucking no one. He knocked someone out behind the scenes in a restaurant. He was out on a Valentine's date with a beautiful woman. Yeah, his hand. He lies about everything. You know what I mean? He thinks he's due his respect. Where's his respect? He's got the scars to prove it. Do you know? You've had one sodding fight and you quit. You quit after a minute. You know what I mean? Oh no, ref, I can't see. You know, it's all. Oh fuck, my phone's just. Do you see that? My phone's just fucking froze, and there's plenty of memory left. Crazy, but I'm not restarting again. These spits of genius can only be done off the cuff, you know what I mean, as they say. You know, I'm the only innovator on this corner of YouTube. I'm the only one that brings original content. Video Craig, One Trick Pony, Christopher John Edward, Leonard James Murphy, a flip flopper, and not really genuine. I'm finding out a lot about Chris that he's a bit of a snake. He's a bit of a snake in the grass. He'll go wherever he feels. Do you know what I mean? He's not about loyalty. He's not about genuine, brotherhood and all that. He's a flip flopping slimy toad. Yeah, but back to Brett May. Brett May is a big fat pudding. He's got a massive fucking titties. The others, milk me. The triple chins, sat in his car, always looking depressed, crying in his last video. I need my respect. I ain't got no uncles, no brothers. I'm on my own. Oh, you fucking big fat goof. Shut up, tiny tears. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, that's all, people. Nothing's been happening on YouTube. It's a miracle that I've managed to talk for 10 minutes about absolutely nothing. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.